Okay, let's see. I think it's time to try maybe an English opening. Kafak. Okay, just a normal response there. Let's set up my fianchetto here. And the other knight. So I've got control of these light squares. Oh, he brings both his knights out. So I wonder, yeah, it looks like this is a place where I can go for the Botvinnik setup. And let's see what he plays here. He's got something like a King's Indian, but with his knight in front of the c-pawn. Okay, so his knight just goes to the knight goes to e5. Let's see, it's looking at my c-pawn, so let's defend that. It's looking at these light squares here. I'm going to kick that knight. Oh, you know what? He can also come in here. He probably should have. That would have been slightly awkward, knight to d3. So probably something about my move order wasn't precise there. Oh no, I should have just played. Let's back up just to show you here. When he attacked the pawn, I should have played d3. It defends the pawn and also covers the d3 square. So that was a mistake. Okay, but I'll play d3 now. I think it's safe. He has two knights to get out of the way to open up an attack on my undefended knight here. So I do have to be a little bit cautious. But I think since there's two knights to get out of the way, he can't exploit that. Oh, and my knight is defended. That's right. I have this knight here. So I just kind of wasted a move with this with b3 here, I guess, because I'm not sure if I want the bishop on this diagonal or not. Let's go ahead and put it there, though. I guess I will try this setup. This is a different setup. I think I usually keep the b pawn back and bring my bishop out along this diagonal. But he's got a slightly unusual setup here with his knights. So, but now I'm going to push on with f4 here and just try and get some kingside play. And this could still be useful. It's pointing at the kingside. I mean, that was the advantage of just leaving it on this diagonal, is it's already kind of pointing at the king side, but here it's directly opposing his bishop. Okay, yeah, so he puts his knight there, defending his b-pawn. Maybe he's preparing to push it forward. Maybe he's just worried about this diagonal opening up and he wants to defend it. I'm going to proceed with my plan first, though. Let's kick that knight, see where it goes. Yeah, the reason why this is a bit unusual is that normally black tries to take advantage of the hole on d4 there. Okay, so my bishop is undefended here along this diagonal. I have to be a little bit careful of that. Right here, I was just going to kick the knight, but he can hop in here to e3, which might be a little awkward. So first, let's cover e3, and then kick that knight again. And if it winds up on h6, that can't be that good for black, I would think. I would think that's a problem. And, well, the queen on d2 here defends my bishop, so now this knight is free to hop into d5, might be a good square there. Kick this knight first and then play knight d5. Takes, I take, he takes here. Take back with the queen. I have a queen looking at this diagonal. Okay. Oh, so he's going to put a bishop on his long diagonal here. Let's go ahead and kick that knight again. And then consider, yeah. So one idea would just to play G4, G5 and fork those two knights. Where are they going anyway? This knight has nowhere to go. This knight could go back to D7 or E8, or it could come out here. If I just play G4, he's got to react immediately. How does he react? He can't push the G pawn forward. He has to move one of the knights, I guess. Or he could sacrifice. Sacrifice on G4 is a reasonable thing to consider. Other ideas here. F5 is interesting for knight to F4, and also the rook is supporting that, opening up. And like I said, knight to D5. Yeah, I kind of like this F5 idea myself. It shuts out this bishop. I didn't calculate that, did I? He can take that pawn. I wasn't calculating correctly. He's got the knight over here. I was discounting that. But, well, let's think. Bishop takes, pawn takes, bishop takes. I can push here with a tempo and then on to G5. So it's not simple. So he ignores that and blocks the center. Okay, so now I can push G4 here without fear and threaten G5. I mean, there's still a potential sacrifice here, I guess, but it doesn't seem as strong without the bishop. Knight takes, pawn takes, knight takes. It's, 2 pawns for a piece. But he's not getting this pawn because my rook is defending it, so. And my queen can come over, or something. Something should be able to come over and harass, yeah. Well, that's not so obvious how I would harass the knight on G4. I was thinking queen G5, but of course his queen is going to be covering that square. But it is a sacrifice. He would have to prove it was worth something. He goes for it. Ah, interesting. Okay. There we go. So how do I get rid of that knight? Maybe with the bishop. Yeah, I guess I want the bishop on this diagonal, helping to support that pawn as well. Kick the knight back. Because when the knight goes back, we can also go to f6. But if he goes to h6, he would be threatening the f-pawn again. He brings the queen over. Okay. So, let's see. Can I defend the bishop? Or should I just take the knight and allow the check? Problem with allowing the check is that might be a perpetual of some kind. Let's see, if I step forward with the king, he has knight here check, but my queen is covering that. So let's do this. Let's step forward here. Now I can take, he takes with the queen check, I can block with the knight, and so there won't be a perpetual check with the queen there. He harasses my queen. This guy's looking pretty sharp here. Let's bring the queen down here. Attack his queen. But that falls for the check. So I have to go here. Yeah, he gets some kind of perpetual here, doesn't he? Or he wins material, actually. He's threatening the rook. And his queen is hitting the bishop. So I can't attack his knight. His knight is defended there. King here, and he takes the knight. It takes the rook with check. So he gets the rook. And if I step away from the bishop, he takes the bishop, and his queen is not under attack. So I guess that is forced. Let's see if he has something better than taking the rook. Or he could go for the perpetual with knight back to g4, but probably he's going for the win here with knight takes on f1. All right, trades queens first, yeah, and wins the exchange. If he wants it. Maybe he's got other ideas here. I don't see anything better than knight takes rook. So let's count. I've got a rook and 4 pieces, and he's got a 2 rooks and 2 bishops. So it is 2 pieces for a rook. Yeah, 2 knights for a rook I have. And how about the pawns? He's got 2 extra pawns. Yeah, that's good for black from a material point of view. We'll see how it works out in practice. Well, let's get my knight to a good square here. His rooks are not yet in the game. And I'm threatening his bishop, and I'm threatening check and take off the light squared bishop. He didn't defend his bishop. Well, that makes it easy. Yeah, interesting game. I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.